In this video, we welcome spring with daffodils on a smaller scale. Karen starts with paper-covered floral wire and artificial stamen from the floral department at the local craft store. The floral wire will serve as both the stem and stamen for the fully blossomed daffodils, so Karen paints the tips yellow. The stamen are also painted yellow, but these will become daffodil buds in the scale we're working in. The base for the flowers is made from these styrofoam moss balls. Karen found these at the Dollar Tree, but your local craft store may have them too. She takes a serrated knife and cuts the moss ball in half. Make sure the knife is serrated and hold on tight. The foam is very dense. Here in New Hampshire, we often still have snow left on the ground when the flowers appear. To make our base look snowy, Karen applies white acrylic paint and some extra fine glitter to give the snow some icy sparkle. Karen punches out green tissue to use for greenery on the buds and bright yellow paper for the petals of the blooming daffodils. Strips of yellow paper will be the center of the flower, and leaves will be made from stiff green paper. Karen cut rows of spikes in the green paper. She'll use these to make leaves for the daffodils and also to form surrounding foliage. Karen makes tiny notches in the strip of yellow paper. She works the paper a little to make it less stiff. Then she rolls it around a toothpick to start shaping it. She applies a little glue, then rolls the end of the paper, not too tightly, to form the center of the flower. She works the end where the notches have been cut to flare it out a little. Karen glues this rolled piece to the painted end of the floral wire, pressing it together with her fingers so that it sticks, but pushing out the end with a toothpick to keep the paper roll from flattening. When she's done, it looks like this. Now it's time to add the petals. Karen had a square punch, so she notches the corners to make it easier to glue them to the stem and shape them. Again, she works out the stiffness in the paper and shapes the square into a petal. Then she glues that to the stem. Two more petals and the flowers look like this. Make sure to give them some time to dry. To add some authentic highlights to the flower, Karen dilutes red paint by using a very wet brush, then carefully paints the inside of each daffodil. Then Karen bends the stem close to the head of the flower. To make flower buds, Karen glues squares of green tissue paper over the stamen, starting at the head and working down. Then she adds leaves made from the fatter spikes of green paper. She folds the spikes and then shapes them, and applies glue to the center. She lays the stem of the bud onto the leaf and shapes the leaf around the stem. This is the result. Karen uses a toothpick to make a hole in the base, applies a little glue, and then works the stem of the bud into the base. For surrounding foliage, Karen folds the line of green spikes so that the fold runs across the middle of each spike. She works the stiffness out of the paper so that the leaves look more natural and don't stand straight up. After applying glue to one side of the spikes near the bottom, she folds the entire construction together and then twists the bottom to form a post that she can insert into the base. The fully blooming daffodil is prepared much the same as the bud, gluing the stem into the leaf and mounting it in a hole in the base. Whether your spring has a lot of snow, a little snow, a patch of snow, or no snow at all, these daffodils will make a great addition to your springtime dollhouse or room box. Be sure to visit us on the web at onasmallerscale.com.